So I think I'm ready. Season 2. We're going to be breezing through a lot of seasons. Very early on, of course. But the one thing to check in actually here, we will go into the old coach game plan. So for the Airmen, the good thing is you have Lou as your 6th man. It actually has Bradley on the bench. God, how to make sure that we don't have to change this every 5 seconds. You know? It's interesting that it put Bradley on the bench by default. I'll see what I can do, but it might automate it, and that's the issue. And if it does, well then fuck. Swap minutes, move players. There we go. Hopefully that saves. And then for the Airmen, it has O'Brien as my starting point guard. And we'll move Red to our starting small forward position to make sure he gets a decent amount of time. So we'll see what happens. I mean, again, hopefully our guys still develop decently well. A lot of this is up to pure luck in the early stages to see how this pans out. I mean, again, you know, we had some auto signings take place. The good thing is the AI didn't sign crazy good players, but it is what it is for the most part. I mean, with the training, the prospect development, stuff like that. Oh my god, how the hell are we winning this many games? It really shouldn't be that detrimental to player development, but obviously, hey, we're doing what we can to keep it hands off, leave it up to chance. It's pretty much the name of the game, man. I mean, how else would you guys have won when I had a vastly superior team? Pure luck, pure chance, right? That's how it works. That's how it works. So you guys must be the dead last team in the power rankings, because if it's not me, it's gotta be you. I can't imagine there's a team out there that's doing worse than either of us. Which is good news for you guys, although maybe not, since you lost the lottery last year. So maybe it's not good news for you. As my team beat you 131 to 96, I'll talk about that until the end of time. Beautifully done. But yeah, man, for the most part, until it starts getting interesting, since we can only draft 2 players a year, these early seasons don't mean too much, as we will take a look to see who made the All-Star game this season, as we do. So it's Team Luka against Team Curry. Bron's now a 20-time All-Star. No first-time All-Stars, though. Darius Garland made it again. Like Ben Simmons and it's Jaylen Brown that also made it. I don't understand the reserves being cut off. It seems like a pretty big oversight, but yeah. It's weird having Steph on the Eastern Conference All-Star team, though. Very, very weird. Did he go... What team did he go to? Didn't he go to Boston last year when we did this exact challenge? I'm pretty sure he went to Boston last year. That's interesting. Contract extension deadline. We should not have to worry about at all. None of our young players are eligible. So that's good. Again, it just kind of shows everybody instead of just your players. Yeah, we should be fine there. In that regard, do our best to hold on to these players. It'll be interesting once the cap starts to come into effect again. That'll be when it gets interesting. But right now, I can't help but think you guys are kind of holding there with the #1 overall odds. Granted, they're so close between 1 and 2. It's this game fully out. Pre-order pre-order early release. Luka wins the league MVP, averaged almost 29 points a game. Bradley Beal was the only other player to average 31 points a game, which is nuts. Absolutely crazy. The rebound king was Embiid at 14. Jesus. Assist leader, Ja. Good old Ja. Spencer Dinwiddie was up there as well. Steal leader. Ben Simmons averaged over 2 steals a game. Butler, Paul, Kawhi, and DeJounte Murray. And a bunch of people average at least 2 blocks a game. Fair enough. Turnovers per game, Ben Simmons. Accurate. Rookie of the Year, Eddie O'Brien. Oh, chat. How does it feel? How's it feel? First Rookie of the Year of this series. And it goes to Eddie O'Brien. 17 points a game. Oh, you love to see it. Outduels the #1 overall pick, Lauren Holloway, who also scored 17 points a game. You guys didn't even have anybody in the top 8 in terms of points a game. That's kind of scary. Lou was at 11.7. Bradley was at 11.6. So they played, but they weren't as good. The rebound leader among defenders, Bobby Leonard. For Portland, the assist king, Andre Hilliard. Yeah, you knew Hilliard was going to be a beast. He was up to 77 already. He was also the steal leader. And the block leader. Holy injuries. Jesus. So, man. Feeling pretty good. What about Red? I don't even know how much Red ended up playing. The answer is not much. So you guys... Red didn't even qualify, apparently. So you guys were worried about your players not playing. LOL. Sixth man of the year, Davion Mitchell. Defensive player of the year was Giannis again. Most improved, James Wiseman. Coach of the year, Christian, what you talking about, Willis. Executive of the year, a man with a knife. Yeah, Luka won MVP. First team All-NBA was Luka, Harden, Giannis, Durant, Jokic. The all-defensive team, Simmons, George, Giannis, Isaac, and Gobert. And the all-rookie team, Eddie O'Brien, Lauren Holloway, Bobby Leonard, Andre Hilliard, and Donta Wade. Second team featured Wenli Liu of Honolulu. To the playoffs, Utah, Portland, OKC, and Phoenix in the play-in round. Other play-in round matchups, Philadelphia, Boston, Charlotte, and Washington. Let's simulate the play-in. So, it'll end up being Memphis and Utah, Clippers and Timberwolves, Pelicans and Lakers, Trailblazers and Mavs. Eastern Conference side, Milwaukee, Boston, Miami, Cleveland, Chicago, Atlanta, Detroit, and Philadelphia at the bottom. We will look at our full... Well, actually, we kind of already saw our full-on stats, but we'll still go look at our stats for the season, look at our players. Oh my god. Well, so Neil Red is a 70 at this point, still 23 years old. I am a little bit worried. I don't think he played much, if at all. He actually regressed. Eddie, though, is up to a 76. Fatigue fresh, relations lit. You'll love to see it. For the Breeze, you had Travis Bradley. He's now a 71. Lou rocking a 73 at 19 years old. So Wenli Liu is going to be pretty damn good for you guys, I would imagine. Let's sim round number 1. As Memphis survives Utah, the T-Wolves outduel the Clippers, New Orleans sweeps LA, and Dallas sweeps Portland. Boston pulls off the upset. Milwaukee champions no more. Well, yeah, I know it was playoff stats. That's why I was trying to switch it, but I know. Cleveland beat Miami. Atlanta beat Chicago. Did you not see when I was scrolling through to be like, hey, show regular season? And it didn't. And Detroit as well. Detroit as well, sweeping Philadelphia. This is on next gen. Current gen, as in next gen. Because the Series X and PS5 are current gen. We've made the transition. The future is now. Memphis plays Minnesota. Dallas plays New Orleans. Cleveland plays Boston. Detroit plays Atlanta. See who makes the conference final as Memphis beats Minnesota. Pelicans beat the Mavs. Celtics run finally ends. They lose to Cleveland. And Atlanta beat Detroit. Detroit was the 2 seed. Cunningham. Beast. So it's Memphis and New Orleans, Cleveland, and Atlanta. Have there been any substantial changes? Not a ton from what I've noticed. A couple of minor things here and there so far. But we've also not been on it too long and haven't really dove into too much. So, but what's next gen? I mean, the PS6, it's not even announced yet. It's crazy. Shit's crazy. Who's going to the finals? Pelicans and Cavs. Pelicans and Cavs in the NBA final. That is weird. Cleveland led by Garland, Mobley, Jared Allen, Isaac Okoro. It doesn't exist. I mean, it does exist in the future, which is why it's the next gen, dog. Kevin Love, Larry Nance. Who the hell was on the Pelicans at this point? Okay, so the Pelicans should win. Zion, he's hurt though. Kyrie, Ingram, Markkanen's there. Yeah, God help us if Cleveland... This could be a short series if a team like Cleveland can win a title in Season 2. Oh my God, Cleveland won it in 7 games. Darius Garland, Finals MVP, 27 points. Well, but still, Ender, shut the fuck up. Just, if the world ends, that doesn't mean that the PS6 wasn't then the next-gen console. You lose. Good day, sir. Don't try a battle with me. You're not strong enough to handle this big brain. Darius Garland, Finals MVP. Cleveland somehow wins an NBA title in Season 2. Doesn't make sense. Retirements, Andre Iguodala, Rudy Gay, Rondo finally calls it. Millsap, Robin Lopez, DJ Augustin, JaVale McGee, Jeff Green, DeAndre Jordan's gone. Danilo Gallinari, Wayne Ellington, James Johnson. Ooh, Avery Bradley's gone. And his eyes are freaking me out, man. They're like a fish. It's like a fish. It's ridiculous. Shit's ridiculous. Oh, staff retirements. Gennaro Pargo. Position, shot doctor. What? Okay. League meetings. We have a new rule. Opposing teams will enter a 1+1 bonus after 5 team fouls and a full bonus after 10 team fouls and an overtime period. So there is a change to the bonus rules. Fair enough. And here we go. It's the lottery, baby. Number 1 odds to the Breeze by 0.1% over the Airmen for the 2nd year in a row. You'll love to see it. Will Charlotte stay at 16? Yes, they will. They haven't made the playoffs in 7 seasons. 7. OKC at pick number 15. They stay as well. No movement. They would have had to pick swap with the Clippers. Pick number 14, projected to be the Wiz. And it is the Wiz. They took Donta Wade, 7th overall. They will keep their pick. Actually, yeah, so their pick next year belongs to OKC. Pick number 13, will it be the Knicks? It will be the Knicks. Yeah, the 13th and the 29th pick do the Knicks. Pick number 12, the Toronto Raptors. Stay at pick number 12. 4th consecutive year with a lottery pick. How the mighty have fallen. Pick number 11, the Phoenix Suns. Stay at pick number 11. 20th all-time lottery pick. Pick number 10, Sacramento. Stays. So again, no movement. 17th consecutive year. Holy shit. For Sacramento. Pick number 9, Indiana. Stays. That's good news for both of us. 12 lottery selections to their name, no number 1 picks. Pick number 8, the Brooklyn Nets. Without Kevin Durant. Oh my God, Brooklyn moves up. So the Nets are in the top 4. The Magic will take pick number 8. The Spurs won the lottery last year. They do not win it this year. They go from pick number 1 to pick number 7. Okay, we have movement already. Pick number 6. Will it be Houston? It will not. Houston moves up as well. 2 teams have already moved up. It's looking rough, everybody. It's looking real rough. Pick number 5 is now projected to be the Airmen. And it's Honolulu! Get dicked! Yes! 2 years in a row, baby! Pick number 4, it's the Airmen. Oh, I love this game so much. So much. 2 years in a row. I finished above you after the lottery. The Nuggets pick number 3. Will it be the Rockets? Will it be the Nets? We lose the lottery. Both of us lost the lottery 2 years in a row. Will it be the Rockets? Will it be the Nets? It's the Nets. The Houston Rockets win the number 1 pick. Oh my God. The Nets would have been great regardless. Whew. So we already know. The Houston Rockets gave up their pick to the Nets, but still get the number 1 pick. Which is crazy. The 6th time they've had the picks. They would have had to pick swap, depending on what happened. So the picks stay where they are. That's crazy. So there it is. I'll pick number 4. You guys will pick number 5, and then obviously you get the first pick of the second round. I'll get the second pick of the second round. Oh, the beautiful lottery. To the draft we go. We'll leave staff signing completely automated. Let's see what happens. It is our second draft of the evening. I'm ready for this. So Houston move up to get the number 1 pick. They take Gerardo Alvarez out of Mexico. 6'6" point guard. John Wall might be gone, so it makes sense. Oh, well, I had a typo there to unban Ender. I guess he's staying. There we go. Tried to type it too fast while shit was going on. It's not unbanning. Did I already unban him? I don't even know. Did I unban him? Did someone else unban him? Who's to say? Richie Burns out of South Florida. It's a beautiful thing. Or maybe I'm just toying with Ender and don't want to actually unban him. Denver at number 3. I am screwing around with Ender because I could do it right now, but I'm not going to do it. He's going to miss the draft. Percy O'Brien, the brother of Eddie. We'll never get him. But here we go. Pick number 4 belongs to Omaha. And who will we take? Hello, high overalls. What do we got in terms of potential? 3 A's, apparently. Anthony Graves, Scott Webb, and Judd Evans. Fucking Judd. Anthony Graves, all-star to bench. Judd, all-NBA to bench. Same for Scott Webb. Okay. All right. Let's go off of the data. Anders Larson out of Wisconsin. All-star and starter. Interesting. Oh, Ender got lippy, so I had to put him in his place. Oh, Ionco Panescu. Straight out of Resident Evil Village. A potential comparison to Dwight Howard, which is interesting. Shannon Chapman, guaranteed starter. Oof. Pretty much a guaranteed starter. Uros Drobnjak. What the fuck? Seth Curry, comparison. NBA.com has Chapman as the second best player in this draft. There's also Luis Barrett. And Alec Grimes is listed as the top power forward in the draft, with Panescu the top center. Right. Manuel Micoud out of France. I mean, no doubt there's some good talent left. It's just, who the hell do you go for? Who the hell do you go for? Definitely like the amount of badges that Tommy Campbell has, but do we trust it? Guaranteed starter. It just means really he has a high overall, but the potential's not great. It really is the strategy of do you go for the highest potentials out of the gates. And And we might have to. I don't know what a C- equates to. So Judd really is a project. Scott Webb looks like a dynamite three-point shooter. Anthony Graves, good interior option as a point guard. Oh, this is such a tough spot to be in. What information do you trust? There's a lot of B pluses apparently. Holy B pluses. Troy Wells has an Isaiah Thomas at best comparison. Mark Marks. I don't know if I can pass that up. I don't know if I can pass up Mark Marks. Oh, that's enticing. Fucking Mark Marks, man. That is enticing. It's a literally Marky Mark, yeah. Dustin Adams, All-Star, All-NBA, Bill Walton comparison for Don Wallace. All-NBA to starter for Wallace. Guaranteed starter, essentially, in Anthony May. Bledsoe. All-NBA comparison. Man, right now it's Bledsoe or Wallace. As fun as Marks would be to get. Guaranteed starter, Tommy Campbell. Doesn't have the best potential, but he's going to have a really good starting overall, and that's pretty much where he's going to stay. Hershey Hawkins comparison. Damn. Difference is Bledsoe and Wallace both say ceiling All-NBA, if you can trust it. So does Jonathan Banks, but he's not projected to be a first rounder. But A- potential. And then Scott Webb is projected to be a first rounder. Really boom or bust. And then Judd Evans, All-NBA as well. Alright. I have my list fairly well shortened. I mean, that's showing B+ compared to an A. Webb, it's showing A- compared to an A. What can you trust? What can you trust? Jonathan Banks, it's also showing an A-, which isn't that bad. What about old Wallace? Showing an A-, and then there was Bledsoe, where it's also showing an A-. Damn it, I got 4 players that I don't know who to take. Wallace, as he's an undersized big man. Good mid-range shot, really good rebounding and interior defense. That's not too bad. I mean, 18. This is tough, man. Good shot. Good D in rebounding. Bledsoe is a dynamite scorer. Holy shit. He's 19 years old as a shooting guard. And he is a dynamite shooter. Absolutely dynamite shooter. There's Banks. Looks like more of a project. And there's Webb. That's the three-point shooting going on. Alright. It's down to 2 for me. It's Bledsoe or Wallace. But someone with that scoring ability of Bledsoe, he's a 6'7", 19-year-old shooting guard. The problem with Wallace is I'm a little bit concerned that he's only 6'9". He almost seems like a better power forward. Oh, with the pick, the Omaha Airmen select shooting guard Dylan Bledsoe. I'm going to go with the dynamite shooty, Dylan Bledsoe. I mean, he's out of Air Force. We're the airmen, and he can shoot threes. He has a 44-inch vert. It's the best in the draft class. That brings up Honolulu. 6'9", 199 is tiny for a second. That's why I didn't take him. He's a better power forward. So you guys have a guy by the name of Pasike Marai out of Hungary. Shows B- potential. You know he's a 79. He is a guarantee. Oh my god. So the potential looks shaky, but the comparison says starter minimum all NBA at his ceiling. And you know he is a 79 out of the gates. He's projected by Draft Express to go in the second round. I mean, he might go in the first, he might not. He might go in the first, he might not. He might get taken off the board. We haven't exactly seen how crazy the AI happened to be. So he's someone to think about. In terms of overall, you guys have basically the same information I have. In terms of Graves, Evans, and Webb. Where Webb and Evans both listed as All-NBA. I think it's the same exact potential. A-, Evans is a B-. So Webb's a better option than Evans, for sure. Did we unban Ender yet? Oh no, I'll unban him after the draft. He gets his punishment. He gets his punishment. Aside from that, I mean, Jonathan Banks also confirmed to be pretty good. And the last A- is Lazaro Chavez. You got Tommy Campbell, who's a guaranteed 77. Starter across the board. B- potential, apparently. So, I mean, you guys pretty much know, like, you have the same information just about in terms of who looks good. So the question is, who are the shouts? There is Marky Marks. There's that power forward, Marai. I think he was a power forward in Marai. So, I mean, it could be Marky Marks for the memes. Any of the names that people want to shout out? There was also Don Wallace, who was second on my board, the undersized center. What do you guys think? Any other shouts? Or are those the three players between Pasike Marai, Marky Marks, and Don Wallace? Are those the guys going on the board? I mean, Marai is 6'11". Really good rebounder, apparently. You got Chapman. Mikude, who was there as well. Anders Larson, we would have seen the stats already. Based off of who's projected to go where. Seeing shouts for Chapman. Seeing shouts for Campbell. So I presume the good three-point shooting. You guys got to come to a decision here. Who are the names? I'm seeing a lot of wait for Marai. There's Campbell. And there was Chapman as well. That was mentioned. I have sorted by potential. Were you paying attention? Do it again. And those guys there. Campbell with 10 badges. Alright, I'm seeing some love for Campbell. Alright, you guys have had the information because you got to look at the same players when I was here. I am putting these 5 players on the board. These are the ones I've seen mentioned the most. That's who's going on the board. If there's someone that wasn't there, well, you should have mentioned him sooner. But Marai, Marks, we're going to put Wallace up there, Chapman and Campbell. Those are the 5. Vote away. If there was someone where you're like, well, I said him, then you were probably the only one or one of the very few compared to everybody else. So, we'll see what people think. Again, I can't shortlist players to have it be like, hey, here you go. But, I mean, again, Chapman, somewhat promising. I mean, 7'2" at 21 years old. You know, again, had the starter. That B potential, but it was looking better on the other screen. There was Campbell with that A-grade shooting. Can you trust that the potential's that low? Starter, like he's, even if he doesn't get that much better, he's going to be pretty damn good. Webb had the good shooting as well, but was not on the board. I saw like 2 people mention him. Of course, there was Wallace, the undersized center that I was really looking at. Let's see, is there a clear-cut favorite? It is between Marks and Campbell. Nobody else has gotten a vote. Nobody else. So it is between Marks and Campbell. Again, Tommy Campbell. Solid shooter. Says he's a B+ in potential if you can trust it. Does have 10 badges though. The guaranteed starter. And it comes down to old Marky Marks. Well, honestly, doesn't look that bad for a 21-year-old power forward. Decent outside shooting. Not dreadful on the inside. Shows also a B+ potential. Campbell wins it by a vote. The pick is point guard Tommy Campbell, the 3rd guard that you guys have selected so far, along with Bradley and Wenli Liu. So Tommy Campbell, come on down. 5th overall pick out of Nebraska. Good old Tommy Campbell. Golden State at 6 took Alec Grimes out of Cincy. Best 3-point shooter out of power forwards. San Antonio takes Shannon Chapman, another big man. San Antonio building up in the paint. Led the nation in rebounds at Kentucky. Orlando at 8 takes the Swede, I presume. Played in Wisconsin, but Anders Larson. Worthy of the first-round selection as well. Packers a good team to rebuild if Rodgers and Adams leave. Yes. Let's see. Pick number 9, Indiana. Trades the pick. Wow. Klay Thompson to the Pacers for the 9th overall pick, as the Warriors are tearing down. And they take Emmanuel Macoud, the 6'7" French shooting guard. Number 10, Sacramento takes Aaron Lynch, 7'1" Argentinian center. 29 bench reps, more than any other prospects. Suns at 11. Clark Foster, 6'8" forward. Apparently slid down the board. Pick number 12, Toronto, Leonard Madsen out of Michigan. Maybe they lose Fred VanVleet. The Knicks at 13. Yoshi, what's going on? Indeed. Did they trade the pick? They do. We already saw the Warriors make a move. What do the Knicks do? They pick up Hamidou Diallo and Russell Clark for the 13th pick. So the Pistons on the clock. They take Judd Evans. Good old Judd on his way to Detroit. Washington at 14. Luis Barrett, the big man. OKC at 15. Iancu Ponescu, 7'2" Romanian center. There was a Hungarian center as well. Hornets at 16. Herbert Matthews, 7-foot power forward. Atlanta at 17. Dion Harrison out of Houston. Led the nation in scoring. Celtics at 18 take Anthony Graves, 6'2" point guard. Apparently has an enormous upside. Pick number 19, OKC again. They trade, man, a lot of trades in this draft. They trade that and a first rounder next year for DeMar DeRozan and Derrick Rose. Oh, Houston, honey. The Nets on the clock because of it. They take point guard Troy Wells. Oh, Houston. Webination and point guards, in threes for point guards at least. Pick number 20, Utah, Bill Vaughn. A lot of the guys, he's out of Utah State too. A lot of the guys we were looking at are still on the board. They still are. Atlanta at 21. Marky Marks is finally gone. He goes to Atlanta. The upside remains the question, huh? Fair enough. 76ers at 22 took Marai, the Hungarian. Marai is off the board. Damn. I told you he wasn't going to fall to round 2. I told you. Just saying. 23, the Pelicans take Tim Hayes out of Indiana. Good basketball IQ, or it needs to grow apparently. Clippers at 24, Jason Jenkins. Point guard off the board. Lakers at 25, Ricardo Ortiz. Center out of Mexico. Had the most threes of any other center in the draft. Minnesota at 26, take Don Wallace. Fuck. I knew he wasn't going to fall, but man, he was getting close. Georgia Tech center. I wanted him. Chicago at 27, Anthony May. Another guy out of ECU. OKC on the clock, Lazaro Chavez. Another Mexican player taken. Pick number 29, the Knicks take Roderick Early. Well, no, they took him kind of late. Made more college threes than any other center, 37 to 50. Rockets at 30 take Dustin Adams. Forward out of Ohio State. Pick number 31, the Grizz take Ross Drobnjak, who I was kind of hoping would still be there. And the NBA champion Cleveland Cavaliers take Clint Crawford, guard out of North Kakalaki. Which means the Breeze are on the board, on the clock. Let's see who you guys will take. So Darren Gooden is still there. The highest rated player you guys could possibly take, guaranteed. He doesn't have much of a potential, but a star player. Potential-wise, we're seeing a C+ and a B potential, so it's hit or miss. That's hit or miss for Gooden, but I mean, hey, getting a very useful player in the second round, you know, it's tough to screw that up. But if you want potential, a potential Scott Webb. Has good three-point shooting, not much else. 74 overall for Webb. All NBA at best compared to Mitch Richmond, but he could be a bench player. Also says A- potential, so Gooden and Webb looking good. The only other A potential guy was A- Jonathan Banks, who has good rebounding and not much else. He is also a 73. Grade-wise listed as an A- potential. All NBA is best compared to Sean Kemp. So you got Webb at guard, Banks. Also have Gooden. You could look at Hamilton. Your player in the first round was a point guard. Ender, nobody gives a shit. Jesus Christ. And then Hamilton starter bench, so that's a bit shaky. Good interior D, a decent mid-range shot. Potential-wise, B-, but you know he's a 75. So Gooden is probably the highest rated guy that you got. But I am seeing people mention Willie Hamilton, so who's to say? Nighthawk, what's up, man? What's up? So, in terms of anybody else, by the way, we'll look at the data. Guys that were projected to be drafted, Scott Webb, still there. Craig Kennedy, the Kennedy. Starter bench, not looking too good. A- potential, though. Although this is B+. So tough call. So, the names I'm seeing on the board. We are looking at Scott Webb as a shooting guard. We are looking at Mr. Jonathan Banks at power forward. Darren Gooden at center. Or the other name that I kept seeing, I doubt he gets any votes. But the other name that I kept seeing was Willie Hamilton at center. Those are the four. Poll is up. Who will it be? Will it be Gooden? Will it be Hamilton? Will it be Webb? Or will it be Banks? Who will it be, chat? Who will be joining your team? Looks like a two-horse race between Banks and Gooden, who you see on your screen there. Do you go for Gooden, even if the potential's lower? Or do you try to hit on Jonathan Banks, who might have the potential? Gooden is technically a year younger. So right now, it is overall and age versus high-end potential. Banks represents the high-end potential. Gooden, represents the higher overall. And a slight bit of extra youth. A slight bit of extra youth. Banks is winning. Banks is winning. It's close. But Banks is winning. Yeah, it looks like Banks has it in the bag. He's up by 4 with seconds to go. It is true that you can't develop the potential with training anymore. Is it Jonathan Banks or Darren Gooden? And with that, barring a late surge, it's gonna be Jonathan Banks. Chat goes for Jonathan Banks. 5, 4, 3, 2, final. Jonathan Banks. Welcome to Honolulu. First pick of the second round. Scouts weren't impressed by his limited upside, but he had a good combine. Which brings up Omaha. I also apparently had Nicholas Wooldridge as a good option. My scouts say the same thing about Gooden. His potential could be even worse. But did he just fall into my hands? That is the question. That is the question. So to look at my options. Scotty Webb. I think my scouts are saying he's a higher overall, but he does have the All-NBA and an A-, which is interesting. So over here it says A. So who knows who you can trust? You know? He's the last guy that my scouts have recognized as an A-level guy, which is rough. So for me, it's pretty obvious. It's got to be between Webb and Gooden. It's pretty obvious. It's got to be between Webb and Gooden. Gooden was projected to be a first rounder. 6'11" at center is a bit small, but as a second round pick, I mean, I can always have him play at power forward. Ellis Teague has DeMar DeRozan comparison at his best. But I mean, Scott Webb also has that All-NBA comparison. Oh boy. It's one of the two. It's Webb or Gooden. .2K rank has him pretty close. The NBA rank has Gooden ahead. Position rank, Webb was the 5th rated shooting guard. Gooden was the 7th rated center. Really depends on who you trust. Mixed results. 2K draft projection has Gooden going 13th, but Webb going in the 2nd round. So there are doubts about Webb in terms of 1st rounder or 2nd rounder, but the overwhelming thought is that Darren Gooden's a 1st rounder. He's got good defense and good rebounding. Webb offensively really only has that 3-point shot. Stat-wise, apparently neither of them played. I'm going to go with my gut on this one, and I'm going to take a pretty easy pick. I'm not going to risk it with Webb. We are going to take the center, Darren Gooden. And we'll see if we make the right choice. Darren, come on down, buddy. Out of West Virginia. Scouts don't project him as a high-end player, but what I saw leads me to believe otherwise. Hey, Rob, hey. All right. So, we will skip to the end of the draft and see who's out there. So 1st round picks. You end up with a 77 overall 20-year-old. I end up with a 75 overall 19-year-old. So that comes down to potential. Tommy Campbell. Starter. C+ potential for Tommy Campbell. C+ for Campbell. For Dylan Bledsoe. Keeps the DeMar DeRozan comparison. A- for Dylan Bledsoe. Let's go, baby. Whoo, Dylan Bledsoe and Eddie O'Brien leading the way. Let's fucking go. 2nd round, you end up with a 72 overall 21-year-old. I end up with a 75 overall 20-year-old, which is bullshit because it said 77. Guaranteed. That's kind of fucked. But that's okay. Banks. Keeps the Sean Kemp comparison. B potential. Gooden. B-. Honestly, that's kind of a wash for the 2nd round. I got a guy who's younger and better, but you got the slightly better potential. Let's see how else the rest of the picks panned out. Chapman was a 79 21-year-old. Jesus. Only a B potential, though. Larson was a 76. B- potential. McCood was a 78. Judd Evans was a 71. What was his potential? Also a B. Barrett was a 77. Looking at the other names. Marky Mark, 75 and a 21. B-. Marai, 77. B-. Chapman's facial hair was absolutely terrible. Yes, it is. You're correct. You are correct. Don Wallace, 75 at 18 years old, B+. I don't hate Dylan Bledsoe at all. Don Wallace would have been a damn good pick too, even if he is undersized. Crawford, Dropnack, and then 2nd round. Teague was a 73, Parker, Ellis. Webb was a 70. Did keep the A- potential for Scott Webb. So I did all right with Gooden, but yeah, Scott Webb kept the potential from the looks of it. 73 at 19, Kelly Erickson. Any other like stupid higher ratings? Willie Hamilton was a 73, C potential. Yikes. Burks, Dylan Allen, Woldridge was a 74. Denise Blues. Billy Wheeler, I thought it was going to be Blake Wheeler. No crazy overalls there at the end, but all in all, I think at least for what it can count for with the draft, I think I got you guys topped just a little bit there. I'm not going to say it's a horrible selection. So for the Airmen, I'll hold on to Neil Red, but I'll be dropping Quentin Grimes. You guys will hold on to Wenli Liu, but you'll be dropping Cameron Thomas. As LaMelo will be accepting that offer. So qualifying offers. For Omaha, we don't care about Darren Gooden. We're going to be dropping every single one of you guys because we don't need you. Just a Bryant, Bledsoe, Red, and Gooden, and not that Gooden. You guys don't need to care about any of these guys either. Be dropping all of them. Just going to care about Lou, Bradley, Banks, and Campbell. So free agency. LeBron's a free agent. Joel Embiid, Jokic, Zion, RFA though, as is Morant. Middleton, Garland, now an NBA champion. Lonzo. Let's see what happens here. So again, we will be dropping all of these guys and renouncing the rights of everybody else. Clear out these rosters. I feel like it glitches out. Kind of weird. Okay, though. LeBron James stays with the Lakers. Embiid to the Rockets. And Morant stays with the Grizz. So, Embiid to the Rockets is the big move so far. Sure, there's no other moves that need to be made. Embiid does not go to the Rockets. He's a free agent again. Nikola goes to the Rockets instead. Okay. And Lonzo Ball heads to New York. Porzingis sticks with the Mavs. That was very weird. Haven't yet experienced someone changing their mind, but fair enough. And now Embiid's gonna stay with the 76ers. I guess it's best to wait until after the moratorium, huh? Fucking hell. LeBron to the Lakers, Embiid stays with the Sixers, Nikola goes to the Rockets, Zion stays. Lonzo in Chicago instead. The AI love to change their mind. That's what we've learned. Players just being like, I'm going here! LOL. No, I'm not. So we are going to have to fix free agency. Just to make sure we get... Actually, I'm just going to let free agency go. If it signs anybody crazy, then we should be okay. Just because the whole 3 offers thing is outrageous. So we'll look at player progression. Who knows where Middleton will end up. So O'Brien, for me, is up to a 78. Red stays at a 70. For you guys, Lou up to a 75, Bradley up to a 73. So, I didn't get any development out of Neil Red at all. He really didn't play at all last year. So, you guys were worried about, hey, make sure our star players play. It was my star players who ended up not doing a goddamn thing, unfortunately. Or at least Red didn't do a damn thing. And that really hurts. So to look then, the AI was smart. It didn't sign anybody great for either one of us. So our players should play. Pretty much no problem. Looking at the game plan here then for the Airmen. Bledsoe is hurt. Red again. Looks like a depth player. So I am going to make a change there. And I'll be willing to do so for your rosters as well. Justin James, we're going to release. We're also going to release Alfonso McKinney. And we'll bring in 2 small forwards under a 70 overall. To do what we got to do here. So we'll bring in AC O'Connor. So accepted. We'll also bring in Eddie Snow. Beautiful Eddie Snow. Alright, so that should be my team set. Nothing to worry about. Red is now the starting small forward. Bledsoe will be the starting shooting guard when he's healthy. And then the starting center is Darren Gooden, which is perfect. Defensively, I mean, the bench depth is fine at the moment. The only thing I'm going to do is we will allow ourselves to set this up. I'm going to tell him to play the young people. Play the young people. And first scoring option will be O'Brien. The second will be Red. And then we'll have Gooden, because I don't know how hurt Bledsoe is. He's day-to-day. All right, so I'll have to fix that again in a minute, but that's okay. And then for you guys, for the Breeze, you have Campbell as your starting point guard, Bradley at shooting guard, Lou as your sixth man, and then Banks. We're going to have to drop Hutchinson to make sure that Banks is your starter, which is pretty quick and easy. So yeah, we'll drop Hutchinson, and then we'll sign a power forward who's lower than a 71, obviously. So power forward, Nathan Hart. So you guys are pretty much good to go. So I guess the only thing that we could look at here is player optimization. So Tommy Campbell, for example, is a 74 center, a 78 power forward, but he's only 5'11". 77, 75. I mean, he is a better point guard, especially at 5'11", that's where you want him. Lou is 6'5". He's a 74 point guard, a 75 shooting guard, but a 76 small forward. 6'5" for a small forward is possible, but if you put him at small forward or put Bradley at small forward, they're both guaranteed to be starters. Because Bradley is a 74 small forward as well. And he's got that little bit of extra height. Banks at power forward is just as good at center or power forward. So up to you guys. Do you want Lou or Bradley as your starting small forward? I mean, honestly, they're both slashers. Bradley does have more weight and the height. I'd personally put Bradley at small forward. They both have equal three-pointers. I'd personally put Bradley at small forward. Jake and Witz, though, we're going for Lou at small forward over shooting guard. You know what? Screw it. We'll put it as a poll. Leave it up to you guys. You guys are allowed to make this decision. So, is it Lou or is it Bradley? Move to small forward. You guys vote on that while I check my team. That is the move that you need to make. So the poll's up. You might have to refresh the stream really quickly to get it to pop up properly. I forgot that we could do this, actually, for the airmen. And let me actually sort by age. There we go. So Bledsoe is a decent option at shooting guard or small forward. Gooden, to be honest, at 6'11". I'm going to move over to power forward. And we'll edit him really quickly to make center his secondary position. Is there a big difference in their defense? I can double check. So secondary position will be center. We're good with that. To check the Breeze on defense. Between, again, Lou or Bradley. I mean, perimeter defense, they're about equal, 63 to a 67. Rebounding, they're honestly about equal. Yeah, I mean, they're very close in ratings, and it looks like Bradley's going to win this hands down. Let's go ahead and make that change. And here, really quickly, let me go ahead and do this. So Tommy Campbell, if he were to have a secondary position, it should be point guard, shooting guard. Lou, if he were to have a secondary position, he would still be shooting guard, small forward. Bradley, because of his height, will now be the starting small forward on this team. Shooting guard is a secondary position. And then Jonathan Banks. Honestly, we'll probably set up as power forward center, just to not cut in with the extra small forward options that you have. So really quickly then, let's make sure Campbell has shooting guard as... Oh, look at the sleeve for Tommy Campbell. Make sure he has shooting guard as his secondary position. Lou has exactly what we need. Just to look at what Lou looks like on the floor, though. Number 7. Mr. Wenley Lou. And then Bradley. We have to edit a look at Travis Bradley. Sweet number 24. What a beautiful man. Number 24. Again, he'll be your starting small forward with a shooting guard backup now instead of point guard. And then Jonathan Banks, your most recent pick. Also rocking a sweet headband. Power forward center is also good to go. So your first 4 members of the Honolulu Breeze. And then really quickly as well for the Airmen. Again, Eddie O'Brien. Actually, Bledsoe is who we want to look at first. He's 6'7" as well. So while he's a 73 rated guy there. Honestly, for Bledsoe, it's shooting guard or small forward. It depends on Red, who is 6'8". Could be moved over to power forward. He's not as bad. All right, so I think I got my answer here. So we're going to have Red as a small forward, power forward. Gooden will be a power forward center. And then the top 2, O'Brien and Bledsoe. Bledsoe will have as a, to keep Red as a small forward. We'll have Bledsoe at shooting guard and small forward. And then Eddie, of course, all 6'1" of them, is easily a point guard shooting guard combo. So again, we have our players about as optimized as they can be. I'm changing Eddie's name to Eddie. Fuck this Edward shit. You, sir, are Eddie O'Brien. Not calling him Edward. Red's the boss, might as well cut him. Don't you be doubting him. Shooting guard, small forward for Bledsoe. I mean, again, I'm the one that got shafted because my coach didn't play him this past season. I trust Neil Red. He can at least be a bench player in the future. We got to look at old Neil Red. I mean, he went to college in fucking Rhode Island. What do you want from him? He's trying. What did Dylan Bledsoe look like? Sweet arm sleeve. And the corner. And the tattoos. 2 sleeves of a different kind. And, yeah, then Gooden, who we did already edit. I don't really remember what he looked like, though. Man, arm sleeves are in. Arm sleeves are in for computer-generated players. So, the initial 4 are here. We will sim through this date. Let's go ahead. Always have the CPU adjust the rotation for the moment. Want to make sure that everyone's healthy here. So indeed, it is O'Brien, Bledsoe, Red, and Gooden as my 4. O'Brien, Bledsoe, and Gooden will be my primary scoring options. And for the Breeze, it will still be... Okay, you're good. Yeah, you don't have an injury. It'll be Campbell, Lou, Bradley, and it still doesn't put in Banks by default. For some reason, it's putting in a guy named Spalding, but Banks still has the minutes, so that's okay. And it's obvious that Campbell, Lou, and Bradley should be your options. Just like that. So the rosters are set. We're about ready for Season 3. Both teams off to a decent start. Decent. I mean, again, you know, I have a decent squad. You guys have Campbell. He's a 77 at 21 years old, only a C+ potential. But Lou and Bradley both still have A potential. Banks with a B, which isn't that bad. Like, he has room to grow. It's not that bad of a starting 4 to lead the team. For the Airmen, though, O'Brien's an A-, Bledsoe's an A-, Gooden's a B-, and then, you know, fucking hell, the other one. But I'm really confident in O'Brien and Bledsoe to lead this team. And then way down here is Mr. Red with a C+ potential. So I have the best draft pick so far, but I also have the worst individual draft pick. So you guys got that going for you.